Hello everybody and welcome back to the review of Handmade by Hedi, who is an Irish cloth pad maker, I believe from Cork. As you can see, I have quite a few of her pads, and I have even destashed some of them to other people. She is another one in my top 5. I'm actually not too sure how many times I've said that, so I hope somebody doesn't notice if I have 7. But irrelevant, this is Rebellious Menstruation, and this is the review of Irish cloth pad maker, Handmade by Hedi. These are all cotton knit topped, and they all have a zorb and flannel core and a fleece backing. So the thing that's kind of different about these is the sizes. And this line here are all 8 inches. These 3 here at the end are 9 inches. These 2, I think the gingerbread man is 10 inches. Let's go be sure. These 3 here are 10 inches. This Geisha Girl, Ravenclaw, and this gingerbread man, and Rudolph and the Lilo and Stitch are 11 inches. So 11 inches, these 3 10 inches, these 3 9 inches, and these 5 are 8 inches. And again, all cotton knit topped, all zorb and flannel core, and all fleece backed. For those of you who don't know, zorb is quite a popular core because it's actually quite absorbent. Zorb is a company, and it's a company name for it, but also it's used in cloth diapers, and so it's kind of came across obviously to cloth pads and is used as kind of a core that can rapidly soak up stuff. And this is why these don't really need PUL as a core, because they have zorb. I also have these triangle cup pouch bags in Adventure Time, and this Totoro and No Face one. So this is kind of and Cat Bus is like a Studio Ghibli one. I also have this Adventure Time cup spot. These 3 are interlabial pads, and they are Totoro and an owl. I think these came in a set of 3, but I really love the Totoro one, obviously. And then of course I have these 4 gross grain drying straps, and they are again, as I said, gross grain, and they're quite cute little prints, as you can see. So these are the 2 print styles that I have, and they are pretty adorable, as you can see. So as you can tell, I have quite a few from Handmade by Hedi. These are very, very well made. Some of these have been with me for quite a long time. Lilo and Stitch is one of my favourite Disney movies. It's really, really sweet and well done, and obviously has, you know, people that are other than white blonde princesses, which is very good. I'm not a particularly huge fan of Christmas, but Rudolph and the gingerbread and the trees were pretty cute, and were too cute to kind of pass by. Obviously the geisha kind of girl is pretty cute. As you can see, I have 4 Hogwarts prints, including 2 Ravenclaw. Guess what my house is? And then obviously the generic Hogwarts shield and a Marauders map. And this is you can also then see the gorgeous print, and of course Alice in Wonderland, because Alice in Wonderland is absurdist. But then you can also see My Little Ponies, Wonder Woman, and Doctor Who. As you can see in quite a few of these reviews, quite a few kind of themes come up in it, and it's generally Disney, Harry Potter, My Little Pony, Wonder Woman and Doctor Who. And Handmade by Hedi's, my cloth pads from Handmade by Hedi are kind of representative of that. I obviously also have quite a few Totoro and Adventure Time ones, just to, you know, mix things up, of course. So these are used quite frequently. I will nearly always use a Handmade by Hedi pad in my cycle. I do have a cycle due on the 29th of December, which is like now, but I'm actually filming a vlog for that. I also haven't done a prep pack for that because obviously I am not at work, and I am doing a lot of reviews so I can get them out before December 31st. And as this is the end of December, it's the last week of December, and I have to get all these reviews done. But these drying straps are very, very useful for travel, and you hang them over the shower in your hotel room. If you need, or if you have staying with a friend and have a private bathroom, this is what you can use these for. Cup spots and cup bags are obviously very useful if you use a cup. These can also be used for makeup or your lip balm or anything else like that. These interlabial pads, if you don't know how they work, they can be used as backup for your menstrual cup, or they can be used in conjunction with your pad. If you have a lot of gushies, or sometimes on your first or second or third day you might gush a lot, you can actually use one of these, and what you do is you fold it up like this and put it between your labia, and essentially it sits like that. So when you gush, it will hit this first, and then you'll have the pad sitting underneath it, and then it will kind of distribute it to the pad without it going everywhere. So that's basically kind of how interlabial pads are used. You can also fold them this way and have them sit on your pad. So you can have them sitting in between your labia like this, and have them sit on the pad like that. You can also just have them sitting flat on your pad, so that there's just an extra shield of absorbency for your pad. So they do come in very, very useful, and you might not have to use them all the time. I have used them in situations where I've only actually worn pads at work and I haven't actually worn a cup. And so therefore it can actually be quite useful. It's kind of because it actually is directing your flow directly onto the pad that you're wearing, and especially if you're concerned about leaks, gushing, or sometimes your flow not directly hitting your pad. And this can also influence if you are a front or a back bleeder as well if you're wearing one, but that's okay. You can also direct it around, and as I said, they were just two of the folds. There are more folds that you can use. I personally just usually use this one and have it just sitting in between my labia like that. So but again, everything here, there's no stitching coming out. The cam snaps are all intact. Handmade by Hedi has a very great customer service. They get here from Ireland rather quickly. They get here generally from Ireland quicker than they get here from Canada. I don't know how that works, but it does. They haven't faded terribly. The backs, some of them are a little bit peely, but having said that, I have been using some of these for quite a while. So in their defense, you know, it's not particularly all their fault. This one here has thinned it, the cotton has thinned out a bit here, but that's because it's blue and I have to stain treat it like every period that I wear it on. So that's just kind of the consequences of stain treating. I haven't worn this one enough to particularly stain treat it. I've only worn it a couple of times, and kind of the same as this Ravenclaw one. I haven't particularly worn it enough or tons to actually then stain treat it, but I imagine that is what will happen with all of these. These 9-inch ones over here, I have kind of, they're not necessarily, they're too long to be liners for me personally, and they're too kind of short to be pads without it being back up for another, for like a cup or something. So I very rarely, if ever, wear the My Little Pony, Doctor Who or Wonder Woman individually, and that's just unless I'm really light, so they don't ever really get a particularly heavy flow. But that has far less to do with the quality of Handmade by Hedi's work and far more to do with my personal preference of size. But these are very good quality. The fabrics have held up, the stitching has held up, and I really do actually like these pads. That's why I have so many. I would have more if I didn't destash. So, I mean, that's kind of the consequences, I guess, of being a pad addict. But still, I have now curated my collection to such a degree that everything I have in here I really do like. I will probably get to a point in the new year where I will curate it even further to kind of get it down to exactly the ones that I'm using. And that really is the benefit of doing what I wore this month, is that I can really see what I do and do not use, or what I do and do not reach for. I hope that this review helps you out. Popping up on screen shortly will be my subscribe button. There will also be a link to the playlist with all the other reviews that are going up very rapidly in the last week of December, or in this last week of December. And on top of that, or thirdly, there will be a link to my last review on Handmade by Hedi in 2018, in December 2018, so you can check out my last video, the playlist, and subscribe. Outside of that, I hope you enjoyed this review. Thanks for watching. Enjoy your morning, afternoon, or evening, and I will catch up with all of you in the next video. Bye everyone.